it definitely made sense to the practitioner who's incarcerated. So he's taught me a lot, actually. Okay, so let's go ahead and change the view. There we go. Okay, so just today, before we just drop into our standing meditation posture, let's go ahead and loosen up. It's late in the day, and so we've probably accumulated, tension in different parts of our body. And it may be that if you're practicing first thing in the morning, you don't really need to do this, or maybe if you're practicing later in the evening. But sort of during the day, I think that, so you just want to sort of check out, does this feel good? Do I want to do this? Just to loosen things up. I have developed a habit of doing shoulder rolls, just one or two, from time to time during the day, just at odd times whenever I think of it. And, I'll be pushing a cart in the grocery store and I'll just sort of do that. And every time it deepens my breath and it relaxes me. So. Okay, so head and neck, shoulders. So circling the shoulders. And then maybe want to widen your stance. And then it's opening. So those first ones just bring attention to the body. But this one brings attention to the breath as well as the body. So we're just exaggerating the movement of breathing. So the whole body is breathing. And then this movement itself enhances the breath. So when we lean back, this really is an in-breath, and then forward to the out-breath. Okay. And I'll just mention here the reverse breathing. So this is in-breath, we're open, in-breath, and then out-breath. And then with our mind, with our imagination, we do the reverse of what the body's doing. So the body's doing in-breath, out-breath. Okay. So in-breath, the body fills up. Out-breath, the body empties. So if you imagine breathing the stars, so in-breath, the stars rush in, light up the body. Out-breath, the light rushes out the pores of the skin in all directions. So there's a physical breathing of in and out. And then there's the body movement, which is accentuating that. And then there's the mental, the breathing, the imaginary, the imagination. So in breath, the body fills with light, out breath, the light all dissipates outward. Okay. And now the next level of this is the body and the breath are doing this exactly the same thing. But with the mind, we're doing the opposite. So when we breathe in, we imagine sending the light out in all directions. When we breathe out, we imagine the light rushing in. It takes a little getting used to, but it's actually natural. And developing this ability, we're able to breathe in and out at the same time. And we've fully engaged the body, the breath, and the mind. Fully, all three. And that evokes this sense of presence. There's this sense of emptiness or boundlessness. Okay. And this is mindfulness. This is mindfulness of body, breath, and mind all at once. Okay. And it's balancing yin and yang. Okay. So let's just go back to the normal. So when we're in breath, all the light rushes in. Out breath, all the light goes out in all directions. Okay, this is the normal. Okay. So this is accentuating breathing. Now, when we do with the mind, when we do the, if we imagine the opposite, when we breathe out, the body fills up. When we breathe in, body empties. When we do the opposite, we're balancing yin and yang. And when yin and yang are perfectly balanced, there's just this sense of presence, of being one with in breath, with out breath, with body, with mind. It's just all of this is going on at once. So this is what I'm suggesting. Let's go ahead and reduce the movement here. And let's just do this standing meditation posture. So you can do exactly the same here. So when we breathe in, the light penetrates the body from all directions and lights up the body. We breathe out, the light goes out in all directions. Okay, this is normal. And then now reverse. So when you breathe in, you imagine the light going out. When you breathe out, imagine the body lighting up. So do you see how this fully engages body, breath, and mind? They're all equal. Okay. And then the mindfulness is that when the body, breath, and mind are all equal, we are aware of that. There's awareness of that, all that's happening. And it's not just a body awareness, it's not just a breath awareness, it's not just a mind awareness, it's a bigger awareness. So we can evoke that every time we breathe consciously. So we just go into standing. Okay, so breathing in, the light goes out. Breathing out, the light fills up. Okay. And then notice that you are aware of that. There's an awareness of that. And that's mindfulness. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So let's loosen up the hips. Now, these are exercises taught by Master Trisha Yu. Um, they're not exactly Qigong movements, but they're warm-ups for doing Tai Chi. So they don't necessarily correspond with the breath and so on. But she always did this with every class because she felt it was so important for balance and just for physical health. And then she always did the balance of playing the piano and sync. She always did the balance. And again, this is basic to Tai Chi and Qigong, but it is itself not exactly a Tai Chi or Qigong movement. But that's why I always start with these, because she was really my root teacher. Okay, all right, very good. Now the backwash and tree and spring, that's traditional Qigong. So go ahead and you get, once you practice a little bit, you get to whenever you consciously breathe, that reverse breathing will occur. And so you just immediately get much deeper into it. Okay. All right. So bringing the attention to the crown of the head, let the chin tuck in. And the attention goes down the spine. And then bring your attention up the spine. And then just as the chin begins to lift, then the hands begin. It's in breath. 2. Okay. And be sure that you're pointing your fingers toward your spine, toward your body, so that brings your attention up the spine, up, then through the head, out the top of the head, and then down. Okay, good. Let's do 2 more. So backwash. Okay, and you can imagine that you're kind of lighting up the spine. So sort of if it works for you, so sort of there's light in the hands, and then there's sort of laser beams of light from the fingers that light up the spine as it as the hands go up. And then that extends upward. The light is just awareness. So if we imagine light, we're putting our awareness on the spine and then putting our awareness way up, all around, and then down to the ground. Right? Let's do one more. So good, lighting up the spine, sending it way up, out, down. You can feel the attention moving up the spine, feel the light, and then feel it go up, 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 go up with it. Good. Down, in breath. Very good. Very good. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do Trembling Mountain. Okay, when you first begin to experience this movement, it's intense. Um, but after a while, then you can just choose to focus on the breath. Okay, and then with the mind, you can visualize the reverse breathing, the breathing the stars if you want to, or you could visualize what we were doing with tree and spring, with the in breath going up the spine to the crown, or the out breath going down the front, then repeating that. Something to engage the mind. Okay, let's increase the intensity. Okay, a little more. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then you begin to develop options. Well, what am I going to do with the mind when I'm standing. I can just notice the body, the tingling and so on. I can notice the breath. Or I can apply and do the reverse breathing, or do the microcosmic orbit up the spine, down the front. Any of these things are fine. Let's go ahead and take our seat. Um, Because remember the teaching about the breath, the Taoist teaching about the breath, is that when yin and yang are balanced, the breath becomes long, slow, even, and fine. Okay. And so obviously when we're doing these big movements, the breath is deep and the heart rate's up. And that's as it should be. Now let's, as we sit, continue with the breath practice. That is feeling the body, or feeling the breath, or practice breathing the stars, or practice reverse breathing the stars, or practice the microcosmic orbit, and allow the breath to become long, slow, even, and fine. It'll take a little while for the body to calm down. You'll find as the breath becomes more subtle, the attention needed for the visualization becomes more subtle. You don't have to try as hard. Right now, let's see if we can locate a still point in the center of all the movement of the breath. The body is still. Just notice a still point It may be in the middle of the chest, maybe in the lower dantian. It may be that whole vertical line of laser beam of light. That might be the still point. But in the center of all this coming and going, there's this profound stillness. Just feel it. Where is it located? And then the next one is wherever it's located, let that location be the whole body. Or the center of vast space. Long, slow, even, and fine. The still point opens up into this boundless space. Okay, let's take a few more breaths. Okay, so yin and yang co-arise. So wherever there is movement, there's also stillness. So when we're one with the movement, we need to bring to mind that there's also stillness present. And then when we're one with the stillness, we bring to mind that there's also movement present. And they're both present at the same time. It's not one or the other. And when they're both present at the same time, it yields this sort of flower of mindfulness. So that's the mindfulness of Qigong. Okay, let's go ahead. We did this sitting early because I just wanted you to be able to carry that reverse breathing or whatever breathing practice you're doing into the breath becoming much more subtle by sitting down. So, okay, good. Let's go ahead and let's do the morning routine, something that's known, regular. So, earth's fragrance drifts up. Okay, now can you apply the reverse breathing to the motion of the hands? So that is, when the hands come up, you imagine them going down. When the hands go down, something rises up. You know, this is in the mind, but the mind affects the body, so you can actually feel it. You can feel the hands go down, and you can feel something coming up. Feel the hands come up, you feel something going down. Okay, and in the midst of this up and down, there's the stillness, the verticality. Okay, earth's fragrance drifts up, and sunrise on the horizon. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. Let's do one more. Parting the clouds. Up, palms face each other. When you're ready with the out breath, separate the clouds. In breath. Breath. Okay, the visualization taught with this um, is connection with the palms, connection with the forearms, and looking up. And then when you turn the palms outward, so then as you separate the clouds, the light of the universe comes down, enters the body through the crown and the forehead. And then as the hands come down, that goes all the way down the body and then out into the earth. Extend the arms, extend the hands very, very, very far up, very far up. Up into the clouds, separate the clouds. Fill the body. Okay. Reach up, extend, extend. In your imagination, extend the hands way, 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 way up so that you actually push the clouds apart. Like extend. Good. Okay. And washing the body with rainbow dew. Rainbow dew is the freshness of the earth, healing. So if we start to the right hand comes up the center line, and then the left follows. The right goes over the top of the head and down, and then the left comes down. And then the other side, the left goes up. And then the visualization is, it's the poetry is that we're washing the body with rainbow dew. We're bringing this sort of aliveness to the body. Okay. One more on each side. Okay, and then just check in with the body because the next one is flipping away the fog. And you can do this with any degree of intensity that you want, whatever you really want to release. So it can just be subtle, or it can be very big. If you're really upset about something, just do a real big one or a few. So those first movements are actually the preliminary to the heart of this, which is raising qi to the dantians. So we'll start with raising 4 times to the lower dantian. And so we're visualizing picking up, I don't know, a watermelon or a beach ball or something about that size, that's full of like rainbow dew. I guess it's just full of this energy that we then bring in to the body. And this is the ancestral chi. This is the chi of the earth. So we start sort of like we do with backwash. And then just pick up. Maybe it's dripping, it's full of water, whatever. And then this lights up the whole abdomen. And the hands are resting on the surface of this light. So that's 1. 2. And so feel and imagine this vital energy in the belly. And last one. Okay, very good. Now you maybe feel this sense of fullness, this tingling in the palms of the hands, maybe in the belly. Feel the belly moving with the breath. And at the end of the out breath, feel the still point in the belly. Okay, good. And now dipping the knees, and we're going to refine the chi. We're going to bring some of this up to the heart area where it's finer, it's still light. And of course, it's still in the belly. We're not moving at all. We're just bringing some of it. So next one, we bring more up, lighting up the chest, the lungs, the heart, the breath. Okay, and then we do one more, just do 3 times. And then in this position, this is a meditation, standing meditation. We're aware of that essence in the earth, the energy of the earth, and of it in the belly, and of it in the chest, and the hands, and the feet. And so now we're going to complete this. And so this is touching heaven, touching earth. Okay. So dipping the knees. Now this is up and down simultaneously. And then extend the attention beyond the hands, down, 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 up, up, up. At the same time. So you see, this is an embodiment of that reverse breathing process. This is both at once, up and down. Extend way up. Okay, and then bring the heaven down, bring earth up to the chest, and then out. Extend. The other hand. Stretch. Okay, there's a still point in the chest. Good. Yeah, up and down, same time. Let's do a couple more. Extend. One with all that is. Good. Okay. All right, and last one. Smile. Good. All right. Very good. Okay. And we'll just finish this with the flying crane. Okay. As the hands go out, the mind comes in. As the hands come in, the mind goes out. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Go ahead, break your stance. All right. And let's clap our hands on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And massage your face, head, ears, jaw, temple, whatever you like. Okay. Sort of brush down the bottom. Okay, and tap the kidneys. And massage the kidneys. Okay. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your practice. And I'd just like to say in conclusion, so the two of you have practiced a lot. And Todd, you've been doing this 10 years at least, I know. And I'm just introducing these different levels of practice, of engagement with this. And sometimes you'll find that the reverse breathing or the reverse imagining, the mind being the opposite of the body, is very, very useful bringing you into this expanded state. Other times you're just going to want to go with accentuating the movements or the breath, or and going with it, not countering it. Um, these are all options, okay, and they all apply equally to sitting meditation. So just do what you will with it. Thank you. And if you want to stay and chat, that's fine. And if you want to go and eat your gazpacho or whatever, that's fine too.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm going to take off. Hello, everyone.
So I have a question.
What do you think, Todd?
I think it's good stuff. I have a question, maybe not so much a question as an observation.
Uh-huh.
When you were telling us to find the still point and look for that, I felt two of them, one kind of down in the lower dantian and another one kind of back of my throat.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized the one in the back of my throat wasn't a stillness, it was more of a frozen place.
Oh, little tension, a little bit of tension.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this being a place where traditionally people see me as holding stuff. So
Well,
so
not just,
having recognized that, I could breathe into it and kind of
yeah,
expand the lower still point into everywhere. But it was kind of the first time I was aware of not so much confusion about the two different sensations as just kind of noticing them, I guess.
yeah, yeah. No, it's not just you. This is, this is all of us. I mean, this is the neck of the hourglass. This is the connection between the mind and the brain and the body. I mean, and the throat. And we're breathing, and we feel tension there, the same way we feel it in our shoulders or anywhere else. Sometimes we feel it there. Um, and just noticing it is all that's required. If you try to get rid of it, it's not going to work. You know that. But just putting the attention elsewhere, like onto that lower Dantian one, that's fine. Or just being with it, whatever it may be.
But what I
But
found tonight was that just kind of acknowledging it kind of softened it.
it
So,
softened it. Yeah. Yeah. The interesting thing about the still point is that in Qigong and in Tai Chi, it's very definitely located in the lower Dantian, in the Hara point. That they say that, and that's where you put your attention, and there's a lot of attention goes there. And then another one in the middle Dantian, in the chest. At the end of the out breath, the chest is still, and then you just kind of locate that center, and then it moves again, and then it's still again. So that's natural with the breathing, to have belly and chest. But in Zen, um, you go beyond that, because if you're locating in the body, how do I say this? There's a separation. Does that make sense? Maybe that's not exactly right. If you're locating it in the body, it's a thing that's locatable in space. Okay. It's a point. And the Zen is there's no thing. So you can have a sense of the stillness without locating it. Does that make sense?
yeah, I mean, in a way, it's like the breathing visualizations we were doing,
Mhm.
only physical,
Mhm.
perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. It it's we can become attached to that place, I guess, is another way to say it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if we're upset, or we're scared or something, or we're just noticing there's tension, what I often do is I'll just put my attention into the lower dantian. I'll just literally feel that down there, and that always relieves my stress, because I've put my attention down there in my body. And so it's a good thing. I'm in no way saying don't do it or it's not a good thing. It's a good thing, and same in the chest. Um, and it's not the end of the line. I
No,
mean, because the body is empty. You know that the Buddhist teaching. I mean, that the body is a construction, so it's inherently empty. So if we're attaching to the body, we're still restrained. We're still confined, right? So we acknowledge the attachment to the body, the presence of the body, and we use that as a refuge and so on. And then we just let go of that. The body's still there and the breath is still there. We're not dead, but we're not attached to it anymore. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's just
some
you can do it.
some work some days than others.
Some days, yeah, some days, right, right. But that it when you really when you're in a deep meditation and you're really in the body and you're really there's really stillness and it's really beautiful and it's really peaceful and you're in that. If you want to, then you just say um, something like it's everywhere or not just in the body. And that's kind of the next thing. It what it really is the sixth jhana. It's really what it is. Is it no thing? So there's nothing locatable anywhere. Because if it's locatable, it's in space and time. That's how you locate something, right? In space and in time. And so that's good. That's present moment. Definitely. It's mindfulness. It's really good. And if you let go of that, there's just this vastness. Okay. Now Thich Nhat Hanh says mindfulness is not enough. You know, and the Ajahns say awareness is not enough. They just come right out with it. So you even have to let go of these precious things. Mindfulness, you know, you let go of that too. I mean, you know, but it's all optional, you know. It's just there. It's something you can do or not. There's no judgment about it, you know. You know, like you do things, you know, you really know birds, you know, that's an option you've chosen. You know, I know a little bit about birds. Yeah, it's like that.
And I'm sort of getting there with butterflies too now.
Oh, commas and question marks and admirals and yeah, yeah. I used to know most of them.
Oh,
Yeah, but
I'm even leading field trips for butterflies now. So
cool. At the ARB?
Cherokee Marsh. I seem to be on the roster now for a June trip in Cherokee Marsh for the last 2 years. This year it got rained out. But,
Oh, cool. We used to do that with Ken Wood.
oh yeah,
Remember Ken?
I do. I do.
Great guy. And
But
he would do dragonflies too
oh,
and damselflies. You would go out in a boat
yeah,
and yeah.
I like them. So many of the dead dragonflies. Well, there's a lot you can learn, and then there's a whole bunch more that you need to like catch them or photograph them because they never stop flying. They just never perk. They never give you a chance to get a good look at them. So I know the ones that stop long enough to get a look at, but that's like a 10% of them.
Really?
You know.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so those are just some of the levels of practice, you know, and with you here in Lavinia, let's just go the whole way, you know, and with a different group, maybe not.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, you
You
know,
did,
now that
you did notice that others joined us, right?
I didn't notice that, but I saw it later.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zoe and Esty.
Oh,
They're all,
yes. I saw it in the chat.
yeah, they
Yeah.
came up.
Oh, and yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, that's fine. But they're fine too. I don't know. So now that I'm old, yeah, I'm 75. You know, it's like, why am I gonna hold anything back? You know, what am I saving it for? So, you know, if people
Sure.
like it, if they want it, great. And if they don't, that's cool. That's kind of more where I'm at now.
You're more my wife's age. She'll be 75 in December.
And you?
I just turned 71
Oh my God, you're a young guy.
2 weeks ago. That's what she I can feel it though, I gotta tell you that.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty much the same, 71, 75.
As soon as somebody asks you for a name or something, it instantly disappears. Although you
Oh,
would